Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and some changes are on the way. You probably noticed the clouds this morning. They hung around throughout most of the day today. They're called leader clouds that usually come in ahead of a storm system, and we are seeing a storm system moving through the western part of Washington as we speak, and we'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. But we do have precipitation in our forecast. Boy, the first time in really a long time. Not much chance for tomorrow, maybe tomorrow night, some scattered sprinkles, but then by Thursday and especially into Friday, we could see a decent chance for some rain. Quiet weekend then coming up before an even bigger storm moves in by the first and middle part of next week. Stay tuned. Your complete weather forecast is coming up a little bit later on. And for those watching on our Facebook, tune in to Local Channel 12 or Charter Channel 19 or stream us live at ncwlife.com for the full evening newscast. And now of the few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Officials suspend the search for a missing Moses Lake man. Chelan County Superior Court Judge Alicia Nakata announces her retirement, and fire crews conduct several prescribed burns around the region. Later on, we'll have sports, your weather forecast, and our feature story today. But first, authorities report over 41,000 pounds of illegal marijuana was seized in a multi-agency raid in 3 central Washington counties. The 3-month investigation was coordinated by Grant County's Interagency Narcotics Enforcement Team and resulted in the arrest of 24 suspects, 56 illegal firearms, a large amount of ammunition, semi-automatic weapons, and assault rifles were also confiscated, along with $55,000 in cash. Grant County Sheriff's Chief Deputy Ryan Reckenwald says the raid carries a strong message.
This sort of behavior is not welcomed in our county. The voters have voted for a legal way to grow marijuana, and the fashion in which these individuals were growing marijuana is not only dangerous to the community members, who a lot of them we called in tips to us, but illegal to people who are potentially consuming this product that they're eventually getting.
In all, the crackdown uncovered and dismantled illegal grow operations in all areas of Grant County, including Ephrata, George, Mattawa, Moses Lake, Quincy, Soap Lake, Schwana, Warden, and Wheeler. The campaign also includes warrants in Othello, Adams County, and Mesa in Franklin County. A search was suspended Monday for a Moses Lake man who disappeared Saturday morning after taking a walk. Sheriff's deputies and search and rescue crews searched the area near Roads 2 and O Northeast Monday, looking for Chuck Taylor, who's been missing since Saturday morning. They didn't find the 62-year-old man or any evidence of his whereabouts, and the investigation will continue. Sheriff's deputies are not planning any future searches unless evidence surfaces, allowing them to refocus search efforts. Anyone with information should contact the Grant County Sheriff's Office at 509-762-1160 or crime tips at grantcountywa.gov. Tipsters can remain anonymous. Washington State Patrol reports a minor injury accident on U.S. Highway 97A near Rocky Reach Dam north of Wenatchee earlier this afternoon. The accident involved a small 4-door sedan and a large 1-ton dually pickup. As you can see, both vehicles involved were severely damaged in the crash, which happened around 1 p.m. Highway 97A was closed for a time this afternoon, with delays lasting into late today. No word yet from Washington State Patrol on the cause of the accident, whether or not drugs or alcohol was involved, or if charges will be filed. Chelan County Superior Court Judge Alicia Nakata has announced her decision to retire from the bench at the end of the year. The 62-year-old judge has served since 2013, succeeding Judge John Bridges. She also served as Chelan County District Court Judge for 17 years prior to that. Governor Jay Inslee will be tasked with appointing a new judge to serve out the remainder of Nakata's term. She was re-elected last year to another 4-year term. The U.S. Forest Service conducted 5 prescribed burns around north central Washington today, bringing a light shroud of smoke and haze to some areas. The fires were in the Tonasket, Mazama, Cle Elum, Winthrop, and Omak areas on a total of 308 acres. With light southwest winds today, most of the smoke was dispersed to the north of most populated areas with little impacts. Prescribed burns are conducted yearly to improve the health of the forest ecosystem, where trees are stressed by overcrowding and flammable fuels build up and become hazardous. Forest Service officials say the right fire at the right time helps maintain healthy forests, communities, and watersheds. Coming up, we continue our profiles of Wenatchee School Board candidates. Scientists study a world-class feature on Lake Chelan, and we'll take a look at the upcoming job fair. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
Welcome back. We continue our series of reports on candidates running for the Wenatchee School Board. Tonight, we profile incumbent Position 3 board member Claudia DeRobles and her challenger, Sonny Hemphill.
Claudia DeRobles is running for re-election for the first time after being appointed to the position. She is employed as a branch manager for Kashmir Valley Bank. She said during a recent forum that she has also served on a variety of service and civic organizations. She says her banking experience gives her an edge when dealing with school district budget issues.
I can truly say this is a very rewarding position. Having to be in a position to help and be able to put in my experience and give input, and you know, the role of a board member is to be prepared at these meetings, do your homework ahead of time, and make sure, because as we're nervous up here presenting to you, that's the same situation as when there's someone presenting to us. We will give respect to each person that presents to us and be able to make decisions and do our homework ahead of time. We have fiduciary responsibility as a board member to make sure that that budget is complete and balanced. And if it wasn't for the reserves we have, it's very tough to get it balanced. Why do I want to do this? Because I care. As a mother, community member, as a businesswoman, as a volunteer, I'm willing to give my time. This is a volunteer position. It's not paid, and I'm willing to do that.
DeRobles' challenger, Sonny Hemphill's campaign is focused on what she perceives as a disconnect between the district and the community. Hemphill says she's acquired her knowledge of school issues as a longtime newspaper reporter.
I'm running for school board because I love my community. We moved here in 1999. My 2 boys began school here. They were in middle school and went all the way through high school here. During those years, I found myself a frustrated parent on a fairly regular basis. Sometimes it felt like I was having to struggle to get the things my children needed to thrive in school. They made it through school, and I was happy to have that period of my life pass, to tell you the truth. But I continued to hear others, friends in the community, people I knew, talk about their struggles with the education of their children in the schools. I heard stories where parents literally had to become warriors to get the services their children needed. And simply that little nagging fact that our schools were not living up to what I felt like the promise was.
Rounding out the field of candidates is Michelle Sandberg, who's running unopposed for her position. I'm Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Lake Chelan holds a world-class feature that has only been studied once nearly 30 years ago. With the help of Oregon State University and Chelan County Natural Resources, the Lake Chelan Research Institute announced that scientists will be learning more about the movement of the deep cold water known as the internal seiche of the lake with the installation of 2.4 miles of temperature-sensing cables. The fiber optic cables will measure temperature at every meter along their length under the surface, taking a crucial look at the lake's water quality and measurements and optimal sampling times. In fact, the Research Institute says studying the internal seiche will also help find the best days for swimming in Lake Chelan. Researchers marked the locations of the cables with surface buoys and asked the public to avoid them while recreating on the lake over the next year. The Chelan Douglas Job and Resource Fair will be held at Pybus Market tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Many area employees and support groups will be on hand to help anyone of all ages either improve their job situation or provide resources to help with the job search. Steve Robinson, one of the organizers of the fair, says the timing is perfect for a resource fair, which coincides with a robust local job market.
A good opportunity for someone who's either looking for a job or maybe has a job now to better themselves. So we're going to have an array of different employers here, probably about 20 of them for folks to meet and talk about job openings and leave resumes with. So I think that most employers are finding it challenging to find good people. And so I think if you're in the job market, my impression is that if you're a job seeker, it's a good time to be looking for either a promotion or better opportunity or maybe for that first job. So it's a good time to be looking for work.
The Job and Resource Fair will be held at the Pybus Market Events Room. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's featured story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CBCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CBCH respects that.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a good Tuesday. Here's what's coming up this week on our broadcast schedule for sports on the NCW Life channel. It begins tonight with a replay of the Wenatchee versus Davis soccer match from September 19th. That'll be followed by Thursday night hockey beginning with the Call of the Wild at 7. Then the Wild and Vernon from tomorrow night's game. That'll be at 7:15 on Thursday. We're back at Eastmont High School for senior night Friday as the Wildcats host Eisenhower in their final game of the season at 7 o'clock. Grant Olson and Jay Seaback have your play-by-play. Then Saturday, it's a replay of last week's fantastic soccer match between Wenatchee and West Valley at 2, followed by Eastmont and Mosley Lake football at 7, a game originally played September 22nd. That's all coming up this week on NCW Life Sports. On the prep schedule for today in soccer, first of all, Eastmont on the road at Davis as the Wildcats are 4-3, Davis 3-4. Cascade takes its unbeaten record on the road to Okanagan for a match. Meanwhile, Brewster playing host, or actually Brewster's on the road at Manson today in soccer. Cashmere and Omak were supposed to play at Cashmere High School tonight. That game won't happen. It's been postponed because OMAC doesn't have enough healthy players due to injury and illness. Wenatchee, meanwhile, trying to maintain its position in the Big Nine at 6-0 on the season. They're on the road at Ike tonight at 7 o'clock. On the volleyball floors tonight across North Central Washington, Entiat taking on Moses Lake Christian in a mismatch. Tigers undefeated. Moses Lake Christian still winless on the season. Waterville Mansfield, meanwhile, is at Lake Roosevelt to take on the Raiders. Cashmere at home hosting a very tough OMAC squad, while Cascade tries to remain unbeaten. They're on the road at Okanagan. Wenatchee is at Eisenhower. Eastmont playing host to Davis. Well, it seems the bye week came at a perfect time for the Seahawks as the team deals with several injuries. Pete Carroll met with the media Monday and first wanted to highlight the defense in Seattle's 16-10 win over the Rams on Sunday.
We were able to keep them from being effective in the ways they'd been effective, and we'll see how many times people hold them to 10 points. I think that's a pretty good output for the day. They started fast and got off to a real good roll, and our guys rallied and came back and played really 3 quarters of great football and kept them down. But you got to get they're good. They're doing a lot of really good stuff, and it took us some special plays and some good fortune and all to keep it down. But the great part about it was, even though they started pretty well, they weren't able to maintain it. And our guys were able to adjust and play really good football and play really aggressive and take their strengths somewhat minimized during the course of the day.
Seahawks dealing with lots of injuries. Left guard Luke Jokel having arthroscopic surgery on his knee this week. Michael Bennett's dealing with a foot injury. And Cliff Avrill's neck injury might be more severe than first thought. As a result, Carroll is happy to have a bye week now so his team can recover.
It always does. Yeah, it always does. I'm thrilled that we're where we are at this time after kind of the start that we weren't exactly counting on, to be back in the division and have an opportunity to be in good shape for this week when we're off. That's important for us mentally, and we have a lot of work to do, and we're going to come roaring back. But guys will be healed up somewhat, and we should be fresh, and we're going to try to take full advantage of that. And we got a big trip to coming back, going to New York, and it'll be huge to get everybody out there going again.
Seahawks are 3-2 in first place in the NFC West after last week's win. They'll be back at it October 22nd in New York against the Giants. In baseball, the American League Divisional Series yesterday, it was Houston advancing to the ALCS with a 5-4 win over Boston at a rain-soaked Fenway Park. Meanwhile, New York forced a Game 5 against Cleveland with a 7-3 win. They'll play that game tomorrow. In the National League Divisional Series, it was Chicago downing Washington 2-1. Game 4 today. L.A., meanwhile, swept Arizona 3-0. That's Sports News. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Wenatchee, Eastmont, and school districts all across the country are celebrating National School Lunch Week. Microsoft founder Bill Gates traveled to Africa to point out the importance of school lunches for children, not only in this country, but around the world.
Well, Africa has so much potential. It has so many young people, but one of the questions is that if we don't solve that nutrition problem, then they won't be able to get educated and deliver on the promise of the continent. This is Vincent Zimba. He's 8 years old. He lives in Nangoma village in Zambia. His favorite food is chicken, but he rarely gets to eat meat. Each morning, Vincent goes with his cousins to fetch firewood for the family's breakfast of tea and bread. He helps sift soybeans and helps his older brother take the family's cows to graze. A typical meal for Vincent is nshima, a starch made with white cornmeal and some cooked vegetables. He says his mother is a very good cook. This is Albright Anyango. She's 8 years old. She lives in Kibera, Kenya, the largest urban slum in Africa. Albright's mother supports her 5 children by selling samosas on the street. Breakfast is bread and tea, but sometimes she gets her mother's samosas. The stalls in Kibera sell nyama chuma, which means cooked meat, but Albright's family usually can't afford meat. Albright's most nutritious meal of the day is offered at school. There, she and her classmates have a lunch of beans, rice, and cooked cabbage. Her favorite food?
Chakula napenda sana ni pilau.
That's Kishwali Pilau, a spicy rice dish with beef. This is Kachiba Primary School in Tanzania. I'm with the Standard 3 class, made up mostly of 8-year-olds. The parents of the kids volunteer to make lunches as a pilot for a school meals program.
You're welcome.
So what are we cooking here?
There is beans, 2 beans, and this is beans. There is rice.
And this is for kids' lunches?
Yes.
The school lunch program has a lot of benefits. It encourages the kids to attend school, even if their parents want them to work on the farm. It picks particularly healthy food for all the kids. It's a lot of food. School lunch, in particular, is really about education, getting kids to come and getting them so they're energetic enough to really learn while they're there. It's a great thing. It doesn't solve every problem, but it's definitely part of the solution.
We'll be back in just a moment with a recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Romaine Electric in Wenatchee is your one-stop repair shop for all your auto, marine, small engine, or heavy-duty truck electric motor needs. Does your battery need to be replaced? Their technicians will have you up and running. The diagnostic team at Romaine Electric identifies and repairs all electrical issues from farm, truck, marine, industrial, diesel, ATV, and PWC. Romaine Electric in the Industrial Park off Ferry Street and Wenatchee Avenue. Stop by or give them a call today at 663-8150.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
And now a recap of our top stories. Authorities report over 41,000 pounds of illegal marijuana was seized in a multi-agency raid in 3 central Washington counties. The 3-month investigation was coordinated by Grant County's Interagency Narcotics Enforcement Team and resulted in the arrest of 24 suspects, 56 illegal firearms, a large amount of ammunition, semi-automatic weapons, and assault rifles were also confiscated, along with $55,000 in cash. Grant County Sheriff's Chief Deputy Ryan Rechtenwald says the raid carries a strong message.
This sort of behavior is not welcomed in our county. The voters have voted for a legal way to grow marijuana, and the fashion in which these individuals were growing marijuana is not only dangerous to the community members, who a lot of them we called in tips to us, but illegal to people who are potentially consuming this product that they're eventually getting.
In all, the crackdown uncovered and dismantled illegal grow operations in all areas of Grant County, including Ephrata, George, Mattawa, Moses Lake, Quincy, Soap Lake, Schwana, Warden, and Wheeler. The campaign also included warrants in Othello, Adams County, and Mesa in Franklin County. Washington State Patrol reports a minor injury accident on U.S. Highway 97A near Rocky Reach Dam north of Wenatchee earlier this afternoon. The accident involved a small 4-door sedan and a large 1-ton dually pickup. As you can see, both vehicles involved were severely damaged in the crash, which happened around 1 p.m. Highway 97A was closed for a time this afternoon, with delays lasting into late today. No word yet from Washington State Patrol on the cause of the accident, whether or not drugs or alcohol was involved, or if charges will be filed. And now your weather forecast for north central Washington. Before we get to that, let's take another peek outside our weather window, and it was a decent day today. You can see just the beginning of a storm system and a cold front moving into north central Washington. It did go through western Washington a little bit earlier today, now over our area, and that will change our weather pattern somewhat. But today, all in all, boy, what a beautiful day. We enjoyed one more day and seasonably mild weather. Satellite indicates a deepening and approaching upper level trough moving through western Washington, as I mentioned this afternoon. With the speckled nature, you can see it on the loop of the cellular clouds inside of this trough, usually indicating a cool and unstable air mass. This system will overtake the area as the system moves over the forecast area starting tonight and into Wednesday. All of the latest weather models indicate the front will generate an area of showers late tonight and early Wednesday morning as it moves over the rising terrain of the eastern basin in Washington. On Wednesday, the cool and unstable trough will move over our forecast area, leading to a much cooler day and mostly cloudy skies and about a 20 to 30% chance of showers. Scattered showers are expected over the mountains, with snow levels lowering to the 3,000 to 4,000 foot level. By Thursday and into early Saturday, the weather pattern change is well underway, with a cold, conditionally unstable air mass contained in a large trough of low pressure residing over north central Washington. We will see a slow warming trend as we get into the weekend until an even bigger area of storminess moves our way early next week. Here's a look at that forecast now. Tonight we will drop down into the low 40s once again overnight. Tomorrow, we'll make it 39 for tonight. For Wednesday, 60-year high temperature, and then rain showers on Thursday and Friday with temperatures right around 60, and then sunshine for the weekend with lows in the upper 30s and lower 40s. And in our video of the day, hiking enthusiast and YouTuber Dylan Ivins just completed a trek across the Pacific Crest Trail. This is the trailer for his full trip titled Crest to Coast.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you.
The mom was definitely a grizzly. I feel the ground shaking basically as she came down the trail. Still got my bear spray in my hand. Some dogs, I think it was 4 or 5 of them, bit my hand. That's not too far away from where we are.
But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on NCW Life News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Is this really what we're going to do on our girls' night out?
We should go to Club Crow. The bar and grill in Kashmir? Yeah, let's go.
Looking for a fun-filled, friendly hometown atmosphere? Club Crow Bar and Grill in Kashmir is the place to be. Hi, this is Justin. Here at Club Crow, we have full bar and restaurant, live music, a dance floor, pool tables, pull tabs, and live jam sessions the first Sunday of every month. Club Crow in Kashmir, the coolest place in town.
Hey everyone, Frank Ferrari here at Frank's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Today's deal is F-150 under 300,000 miles. Yesterday, $55.95. Today, it's only $213. At this price, this thing won't last long. Hurry on down to Frank Ferrari's Used Cars, where everybody gets a good deal. Right, Fred?
Right.
Forget about Frank. Here at Town Nissan, we're fun, we're fair, and we're fabulous. Town Nissan, behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.